Well, this is a little bit awkward. We've had 2 windows fitted already, and we might have made a pretty big mistake with our windows. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, but more on that later. So we're here today in sunny Portland, where we're getting a little favour from some friends of ours who are going to be fitting some camper glass windows for us. Now we've only got 2 at the moment because one of the ones, the middle panel, is out of stock at the moment, so we're just waiting for that. But whilst we were waiting, we thought we'd get the first 2 windows put in. So that's going to be the door window and the one opposite it. So that's the sliding door is going to get a window, and the one opposite. We just wanted to make it a bit lighter and actually just get going with things. So it's quite an exciting day because it's going to be really interesting to see how much brighter it makes the van with having an extra 2 windows. So yeah, let's see how they're done. And obviously we're not doing it ourselves for very obvious reasons, because it looks terrifying having watched these guys work on it already. So I'm very glad we got professionals in. Well, take a look at the finished product here. Well, I say finished. We've got 2 windows out of the 4. We still need to put a few more in, so that's going to go back here. So that's going to be there and there. But we're just waiting for that one at the moment. So when that one comes in, we will come back and get the rest fitted. But wow! Oh, this is so exciting. It's made such a difference. It makes it actually feel much more like a camper van. Very, very exciting. I'm not going to do anything with them just yet. I'm just going to let it cure for a little bit longer and then drive home. But yeah, they look so good. What a difference. Now I think it's important to note that we have actually messed up a little bit with the windows here. And before I get into where we've messed up, I'd like to just take a moment and speak about this week's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website design and web building tool that makes it so simple to build a website, even Bentley could do it. You can choose from loads of different website templates that you then customise to fit your own personal style and needs. For example, you can easily create interactive member areas, blogs, online shops, or just a place to connect your social media accounts. It's an amazing tool for whatever you want to create online. So head on over to squarespace.com and use code ABusAndBeyond, or use our link in the description below. That will give you a free trial and 10% off any products that you choose to buy. So as I said before, we had got 2 windows. We got this one here, and then on the other side, this one here. We have, since we got those 2 windows fitted, we went to speak to Gaia Camper Van Culture, who talked to us about the skylights that we're going to be putting in and what that means about the roof rack, because we need to order the roof rack now before we insulate the whole of it, because once we've got the windows in, then we can insulate it all, but we want to have the skylights in as well. So thinking along those sorts of lines, that meant that because this is such a long vehicle, we can't quite get the roof rack to be just off the rails. It has to be something that's built a little bit more bespoke, which is why we went to Gaia Camper Fan Culture to talk about that. Now what he has said, quite rightly, is because we're insulating this so well, that having the two windows along this side, so it'd be along the door side, so in that panel there and that panel there, we had planned to put the windows there so that we have a nice window for when we're in bed, and we were going to have also a skylight above it, just down that end, and one in this end as well. However, with the roof rack that we want, and the fact that we're insulating it so well, he quite rightly pointed out that chances are it will end up with quite a lot of condensation in the skylight at the back, which might then drip down on us whilst we're sleeping, which isn't ideal, obviously. So that's meant that we've not done the windows right. We don't want a big window at the back as a result, because you can't open that. So we want some ventilation in the back still, because obviously it can get quite warm in certain climates. We don't want an air conditioning unit. So we had to rethink what we're going to do with the windows. So we now have a window for the middle section here still. That's arrived, so we can get that fitted. But we changed our minds about the back. So we've now got, from Camper Glass, more windows. This time we've gone for the sort of letterbox side. I mean, much bigger than letterbox, but they're thin, small ones, and we're going to fit two of them at the back on either side. So unfortunately we've insulated on this side now, but we're going to have one along that bit, and then on this side one along the top bit there as well. So funnily enough, having spoken to the guy who's fitting the windows, he has said that it's actually slightly more complicated to fit those sorts of windows as well, just because of where the panels have strengthening things in them, but there are things that we can do. So it just has meant that we've had to replan quite a lot of things, and I think that's a very interesting point about builds, is the fact that they don't always go to plan. So at least one bonus is we're not going to have to like fill in any windows. So it was actually quite a good thing that the windows were briefly out of stock and we didn't fit them all at the same time. So the next step, now that we've got everything, will be to drive again to get them fitted, and that's going to be happening in a couple of weeks. And then in the meantime, we're going to have to look at the skylights and what we're going to be doing with the roof rack. So that's all going to be coming next time in the van build. But I just can't believe we're right at the beginning and things are already starting to completely change round. And as you're I mean, I think we're quite lucky because we're talking to so many different people about what the options are, but you know, everyone has a different opinion about what we should use, what we should build, how you should do it, and everyone has so much experience. But every van like this is completely unique as well. So we're making our own story, but wow, having to change our plan with the windows. So we now have some spare windows as well. Now I wanted to show you what these windows were like, so just so you get an idea of the sizing. You can see it there with my hand, and why it's a little bit narrower. Well, obviously it's quite a lot narrower, but if I hold it up to the windows back here, see we've got storing things again, Harvey's toys. We're having the bathroom redone in our house at the moment, and it is absolute chaos, as you can appreciate. I'm really scared that I'm going to drop this. Right, here is approximately where it's going to go. So you can see there, it's only taking up about half the window space, but the point is it's opening, so that's quite useful. So I think that looks really good. And we've got another one for the other side, but we have actually started insulating that, so we're going to have to find a way around taking all that off. Now Sean is going to hate me for saying this, but those small windows are actually what I wanted to begin with, and he didn't go along with that, and now we are going along with that because it's a better idea. So, you know, not rubbing it in or anything, Sean, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you are, I was right. So that's it for today, but obviously we've got more to do with the windows coming up in the future. We also need to look at the skylights and this roof rack. So Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue following us on this journey of discovery, I think is the best way to describe it. Thank you very, very much for watching, and we will see you all very, very soon. Bye.
Talking bullshit. It's hard to see you when your eyes look dull. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not